Tonight I wanna see the bright lights over me. Show me something magical. Show me everything I want and more. The best of the good life. Everyone I ride with.
This weekend on Top Billing, the dapper rapper known as Solo introduces his BETR Gang and admits his career was a close call between hip-hop and accountancy. With designer floral headdresses and an unusual cake, Springbok JJ Engelbrecht and Alise Ferreira's wedding dares to be different. Bringing indigenous African ingredients and original recipes to the world wins Nompumelelo Mqwebu an international award. Top Billing's Ryle and Morny and Mkhize both make the final cut for 2019's Sexiest Man. But who will the readers choose? And your presenter tonight, Jonathan Boynton Lee, brings you the best of Mughal-era Indian design from the home of Tarina Patel, which she decorated in honor of her father's memory.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Top Billing. While his name is Solo, in his personal life he's one half of a power couple with Dineo, and professionally he now rolls as Solo and the BETR Gang. Collaboration suits the man, and wait till you hear the music.
I treat this like an island, gather with everyone that I love, try to give them all the treasure they desire.
After Matric, Zotile Langa, better known as Solo, was on his way to being a chartered accountant, until the day his years of privately working on tunes and writing lyrics made him realize music was his calling.
It's actually quite cool to see you in your natural habitat.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is what I do, man.
Yeah, this is where the magic happens.
For real.
But before we get too far, where does the name Solo come from?
I got the name Solo back in primary school, right? So I went to Dominican convent, and every first and second break, there'd always be these kids that have these ciphers, and they were always much older than me, and they were always in these cliques. And as soon as I kind of got the courage to really spit my own bars, I'd go into that space, and I was this very little kid trying to muscle himself into these larger kids. And the name came from me just coming in on my own, you know? And that kind of evolved to be a metaphor for music that you make without any kind of assistance. Because essentially that, for the most part, that's how I made my own music.
You and Dineo won Most Stylish Couple in the 2017 SA Style Awards. Does she have a hand in your style?
Look, I mean, what we've often done is for specific events and stuff, we often look to complement each other. We definitely enjoy doing that, you know. It's something where we kind of see eye to eye when it comes to common interest. And we really like being hands-on just in terms of specific designs and stuff. But she, you know, handles it with her people, I handle it with mine.
It seems as though men in hip-hop are coming to the party when it comes to fashion. And you being a style icon, winning GQ's Best Dressed last year, how important do you think is style in the music and business industry?
Fashion will always be expression. And we pride ourselves in that when it comes to hip-hop. So this is just a different vessel. That's at least how I see it. So just in terms of your identity, your threads speak for you before like you even say anything, you know what I mean? And yeah, so I don't find it surprising. I think hip-hop is definitely gonna play in this role.
Solo is busy recording the third in a trilogy of studio albums with his production team, the BETR Gang. This one will be titled See Plenty Dreams and is the culmination of 8 years in development.
BETR Gang is spelled BETR. What does that stand for?
Well, I mean, it stems from, you know, in hip-hop we use a term called body or bodied, and it usually means when you execute something right, you know. So BETR essentially stands for body everything right, which means we execute everything that we do right.
How did the collective start, and how has the collaboration shaped your latest music?
BETR Gang came together first. It was created by BEUKES and Solo a long time ago, and they started recruiting other people, kind of like the Avengers. They went to get like superheroes that they each craft. So they got Solid the Gifted, Alienzo, and then they added me last, being synth and songwriter and vocals as well. How did it shape our sound is when you mesh everyone who's good at their said craft, you get a great like cacophony of geniuses working together to make one good thing.
The industry you guys are in is quite cutthroat. How do you keep your creative integrity?
Well, for us it's been easy because we've always remained true to ourselves before the outside world comes in. We all like different things, and when you collect that we found it's been more organic to create for us. So whenever we like something, we work on it to the point where we like it. We don't think about who else is gonna like it or not rock with it. So that's how we've been able to create what we like and be true to it by being true to ourselves and our own sound.
To give this dedicated artist a change of scene from all the recording, it had to be something that moved him. And RONNIE BEUKES had the answer in Hartbeespoort Dam.
RONNIE, how are you?
Good, welcome.
Thank you so much. SKYWALK is a paragliding and powered paragliding school. I know paragliding, but what is powered paragliding?
Well, the paragliding is free flying. So you do a lot of ground training. We take the guys to the top of the mountain. You launch through free flying. There's no engine involved. And then you saw like the eagles, you're trying to get as high as possible up and fly cross countries and have some hours spent. The powered paragliding is more convenient in the sense of you can put the engine in your back with the backpack unit, or the trike version, you can fly tandem with the 2 passengers, and you can launch from the ground, fly 100 kilometers and be back at work at 8 o'clock.
All right, now RONNIE, you're gonna need to explain this to me. How exactly do brakes work in the sky?
Brakes works in the sky. So a little aircraft's got a little wheel. If you've got a backpack unit, you are the brakes on the ground as well, a little bit of stopping it. But as you're flying like an aircraft, it's got wings, and the wings got flaps at the back. So by pulling the controls at the back, you can either pull the left hand, that will turn left. If you release, it will fly straight on. If you release, you fly fast. You can slow it down, left and right. And when you come in the landing, say the last, say 10 meters, you've got to pull the brakes to 100%. So maybe related to, if you've seen a lot of skydivers coming in, they come with speed in, and at the last moment, they flare the glider, and it lifts up a little bit and stops the wing from overshooting, and it slows down the pilot.
Okay.
So it's like air brakes.
Okay. All right.
You're still asking about brakes, so you clearly haven't done this before.
Come on, I'll be honest with you, dude. I've never done anything like this before. Real talk.
Well, I'm pretty excited. I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely, man.
Shall we?
Go.
Let's do this, man.
Let's get it.
As tough a business as music is, Solo has never felt like giving up. He admits to moments where he doubted his artistic decisions, just as he might have been second-guessing this paragliding idea. But it pays to be brave.
Are you ready for this? Because I am. Papa Delta Tango. Let's go.
Leaving behind the career safety net of accounting was a move Solo knew he had to make if his music was ever to get off the ground. Before doing so, he'd read up extensively on the music industry and the laws that govern it. To this theory, he added the practical habit of shadowing artists and asking questions. Being such a fan of the process of music has paid off in how much he gets out of every hour spent rehearsing with his band or recording in studio. In his paragliding pilot, he recognized a similar discipline and passion.
How was it?
Incredible, man. Yo.
Dude, this was so incredible. I even had to put on my glasses just to be like, I need to see what's going up in the heavens.
To actually experience it. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but I mean,
man.
this must be the same as how you feel when you're on stage, though.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about levels of exhilaration,
yeah,
it's right up there, man. This is you should experience it once.
Yeah,
I think, you know,
yeah.
very, very dope.
And if you had a message to everyone who's like, you know what, I want to be like Solo, what would it be?
Always stay curious, belief in self, you know, as cliche as that sounds, you know what I mean? But it's definitely key. This is a space for identity. Everybody is kind of looking to see what's next, but it really is about what does that individual have to offer. No one is going to tell your story. So yeah, I think definitely hone in on what kind of makes you you, but stay curious.
Well, Solo, if today was anything to go by, your career is definitely not limited by the skies. Thank you so much for coming through and spending an awesome day.
Thank you so much, my G. This was so dope, man. I'm glad we did this, man.
Bro, there's a sunset, and I feel we need to do that slow-mo sunset. You want to go? All right? 3, 2, 1.
Whether it's just your lady and you, or it's the whole gang, everyone needs a crew.
Next, floral headdresses are the new bouquets, and it's a wedding cake, but not as you know it, as JJ Engelbrecht and Alise Ferreira say I do.
Living just an hour from each other in the farming communities of the Eastern Cape, Stormers centre JJ Engelbrecht and Stellenbosch graduate Alise Ferreira only met years later, after school. Now that they've decided to get married, they can spend the rest of their lives catching up.
This Helderberg wine farm setting echoes JJ's roots in the citrus-growing heartland of Kirkwood, near the orange groves of the Gamtoos Valley where Alise grew up. Their families have much in common.
Yeah, in 2016 we met. Her mom came over to my friend's mom's house and we had dinner together and just took off from there. After we met, we went for a breakfast, and then the fact that we could actually have a nice chat and communicate with each other, and we were very relaxed, then I knew there was a lot of potential there.
Though JJ's schedule often finds him far from home, the couple make time together.
You know, with rugby, I think we do get a bit of time off to ourselves when everyone else is busy working and stuff in normal life. But obviously we don't get too many weekends to ourselves. But I mean, me and Alise, we're both very adventurous and we try and make time to do cool stuff and fun stuff. Yeah, so we make it work.
More used to the blue of the Bulls or Stormers, for his wedding, it was black tie.
Me and Raven, my best man, we just went to the mall to look at some ideas for suit, you know, to maybe get something made or whatever. And then we ended up trying this thing on and we just both liked it. And he said, oh, listen, you have still 3 months to the wedding, but if you like it, just buy it. Yes, we ended up just buying it and it's just been hanging in the cupboard for 3 months.
Alise majored in psychology and sociology before doing her honors in brand communications, so she can appreciate her fiancé on many levels.
Firstly was his beautiful eyes, his heart, and his personality and his character, and to me that's extremely attractive. And then obviously the outward appearance is also just as beautiful. So that, I would say, was what attracted me most to him when I met him.
After their engagement on top of an art museum, Alise went for Heike Lecorder's artistic floral design.
So I'm super excited about these. I knew right from the start that Alise isn't going to just be your average bride. And then when I asked her if she'd be into doing something really fun for the bridesmaids, of course she was, and so were they. And we just, we've done some really beautiful avant-garde headpieces for them.
With JJ away in France, the bride and her mother searched endlessly for the right venue, only finding it on their last stop. As for the cake, Alise knew it had to be by Wade van der Merwe.
The inspiration was modern, contemporary, with a touch of romance. So that's where the black comes in. It's becoming more and more popular. Our older generation will probably have a heart attack when they see that, but the new generation is different, and that's why we trying to come up with new ideas and new wow factors.
The soon-to-be Mrs. Engelbrecht had a vision for her flowers, a 30 by 7 meter roof installation. Coordinator Anne Mann made it happen.
The theme of the wedding was chosen very much in line with the family and the personal style that they represent. It's quite classic and incredibly classy with a slightly contemporary undertone. The white represents sort of purity and a refined, long-lasting flavor that they'll look back at in 10, 20 years' time and love.
The venue is extremely striking. It's actually one of the first eco-friendly hospitality buildings in South Africa, which makes it quite unique. I know the cuisine that has been chosen for today's menu was designed and executed by Michael Degg, the executive chef from Cavalli's side. So we're really excited to taste the menu and also experience the wedding with him.
The couple's goal was to move away from the rulebook and formalities of how weddings are conducted. As Pietie and Mqwebu Ferreira know, their daughter had found a kindred spirit.
Mense het gemengde gevoelens as jy daar staan en die musiek begin speel en die gaste wag vir jou. En as jy afstap daar, is dit net is 'n prentjie wat voor jou afspeel van hoe sy klein was. Hier stap 'n pragtige vrou langs my en ek gee haar oor aan 'n wonderlike man wat ek weet baie goed vir haar gaan wees. So ja, ons is baie gelukkig om weet.
They are absolutely soulmates. They've got so much in common. They've got the same values and they are very strong together.
JJ and Alise are favourites among the broader family of rugby couples, like Sia and Rachel Khaleesi.
I'm just so excited and so happy for them that yeah, they've got a great future ahead of them. That's for sure.
I think just the way he loves it is really amazing. You can see it's natural, and you know, and it's just beautiful to see. You know, I think the pictures he takes of her and just how he treats her and everything, and just when they're together and stuff, it's genuine and beautiful, and I love it. Yeah.
JJ I've known since he was 10 years old. You know, I was very good friends with his cousin growing up. We grew up in the same town, next door neighbours. I don't know, you know, they look just extremely happy together. They're very comfortable with each other. They're glowing, you know, so it's something really special to see, and I'm just really happy that JJ is extremely happy and, you know, loving life.
They're both such kind and soft and beautiful people. They love their sense of adventure together has always been very inspiring for everybody around them. That makes them a beautiful couple.
I've got a great message for them, just to spend good quality time together, enjoy each other's company, and just enjoy the journey together. I think it's incredible, and yeah, and just to make the most of it.
Designing for Alise with her trim silhouette and taste for understated elegance was a dream commission for Jason Kick.
Yeah, well, knowing Alise for quite a few years, having dressed her from a young girl with her Irish dancing, I've gotten to know her personality, and I think that's part of the success of being a good designer, is understanding the client and their needs and wants and likes. And her first gown for the ceremony is a beautiful Cinderella gown. It's cinched in at the waist with a beautiful ball gown skirt, long flowing train in a stunning Spanish scarlet satin with a beautiful intricately beaded bodice in glass beads and crystals, and then with a long sweeping cathedral length veil to go with it.
The bride and groom's careers are flourishing. In her return to her farming roots, the new Mrs. Engelbrecht is marketing South African fruit. After 3 years playing in Japan, JJ is part of a Springbok-laden Stormers team, along with stars like Dylan Leeds.
Together they make such a beautiful couple, you know. I've spent quite a number of nights out or, you know, dinners with them, you know. I had the privilege of being in their company for quite a while, you know, just to see the love and the affection they show towards each other. I think that's what fairy tales and what dreams are sort of made of. To be at this beautiful occasion is really the cherry on top of a perfect love story.
I think it's been a really stunning wedding. Going to be hard to top this one day.
Yeah, and I think I was telling Robert earlier, it's every little girl's dream to have a wedding like tonight. It's been amazing. I really wish them all the best and that they have a whole rugby team full of kids.
I think it's just their kindness, the way that they interact with each other, the way that they look into each other's eyes. It just shows love. It's so beautiful to witness this beautiful event.
As the evidence showed, JJ has learned a thing or two from his wife's years of dancing. She returned to the reception in a number made to party, which sums up the couple's approach to married life.
Yeah, I think for me the whole week the build-up was like, it's like something's coming towards you, but you're not sure what it is because it's your first time getting married. But I mean, it was just unbelievable. It's so much like happiness and joy going around, so many emotions, and you know, you just keep on smiling all the time because everyone's so happy and everyone just wants to take photos. But yeah, we really enjoyed it so far.
The highlight really was seeing him today. It was like seeing him at the chapel because we had been apart for a few days, so that was something that I really look forward to.
We're actually leaving tomorrow morning at 10, so hopefully we can make our flight. We're going to Austria, so getting away from the summer, just changing it up a bit, gonna be in the snow, maybe get the ski slopes going, and yeah.
Here's to a winning year at the Stormers, a World Cup call-up, and the best of the good life.
Those two go together like butter and jam. JJ, Alise, I'd wish you all the happiness in the world, but you've already got that covered.
Coming up, from the best cookbook in the world through the eyes of an African chef, we're cooking with Nompumelelo Mqwebu.
Need new flavors in your life? How about a baobab and banana smoothie or an amadumbe gnocchi served with beef fillet? Nompumelelo Mqwebu sees the world of food through the eyes of an African chef, and it's winning her international acclaim.
Hailing from KZN, where her cooking inspirations were her father and grandmother, Nompumelelo first catered at family functions. After cookery school, she was a restaurant and game lodge chef before starting her business, Africa Meets Europe Cuisine.
Your latest book, Through the Eyes of an African Chef, won what's basically equivalent to an Oscar in the cookbook industry. What inspired you to write this book and share your recipes with the world?
The main reason was having gone through cooking school, and I found that we didn't actually cover indigenous food, which means all our indigenous plants and some animals were left out of our learning. We were learning more stuff from Europe. So I decided I needed to get close to farmers and learn more about what is actually indigenous to South Africa and start creating dishes around that. And I think that's part of the reason why it was of interest to the Command Awards, because as the president said when he interviewed me, he comes to Cape Town a lot, but he's never tasted a lot of the dishes that were in the book. It was very innovative, and he loved the fact that it was quite unique.
To get indigenous crops grown commercially, Chef began to commission ingredients from urban food gardens like this one.
Nompumelelo, it is so wonderful how there's this food and herb garden right in the heart of Johannesburg CBD. Why is it one of your favorite spots?
Well, what I love about Fifi's garden, it is one place where I know what I'm getting. So when I say to people, I know where my food comes from, I mean it. I can visit here anytime without making an appointment. And Fifi also grows according to my needs. I may just ask for something and she can plan for it and actually grow for me.
As the grandchild of an entrepreneur, Nompumelelo now helps more women like Grafilwe Molefe to innovate in their businesses.
Mama Fifi, it's so lovely to meet you. I believe you two met quite a few years ago.
I met Nompumelelo at Bluebird Melrose Art Market, where I was selling my organic veggies. Then I had to invite her to come and see at the farm where the food comes from. So from there in 2015, we worked together with Nompumelelo when she was training us to add value on our products. So she trained 16 cooperatives, including me.
While helping others, Nompumelelo's own journey to self-publishing took 5 years. Accumulating recipes as she honed her writing skills through food articles, she eventually had an original cookbook.
Why is this one of your favorite smoothies to make?
The baobab actually has 4 times more vitamin C than your average orange. And if I've had a hot day and I'm working out in the afternoon or in the evening, I know I've got slow release energy from a baobab. This is the baobab fruit from which we get this powder. Would you like to smell? You can also taste the tangy taste.
Yeah. Ooh, nice little tang over there. All right, what's the first step?
Okay, the first step is we need to chop up some bananas,
yes,
which we're gonna pop in our blender.
Yes.
Then we're gonna add all the ingredients, including our ice, and whip up the smoothie. Pretty easy.
To flax seeds, add baobab powder, plain yogurt, and honey.
I cannot wait to taste it.
Well, Jade, you're gonna have to wait. We're on the roll. We have to finish all the dishes.
Yes, chef. Which one's next?
Isijingi pudding, which is a dish that my grandmother prepared for us. We'll start off with the pumpkin, which we're gonna boil in cinnamon, and once the pumpkin is soft, then you can blend it. After you blend it, you put it back on the stove. You thicken it with a bit of maize, so the maize is not the main dish, so you're just thickening with the maize. And then you add your honey, you add your butter and cream, but it's not a necessity, especially if you're making a healthier version of the pudding.
So what would you say this is like? I haven't seen anything like this before.
More
like
a
mousse texture.
Okay, yeah. Once it cools down, yes, it will be your mousse texture.
As a jus for the pumpkin, mix red wine, berries, honey, and cinnamon in a reduction. This takes an already delicious pudding and makes it absolutely irresistible.
And now for the third and final dish, our main course, which is actually my favorite one.
Yes, so we've chosen the ostrich because it's quite a healthy, lean meat, which is very good for you. The marinade on it is the whole grain mustard, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. So I'm just going to have a squeeze of lemon just before we sear it. And we sear it just mainly for color and the sugars as it browns. That helps the meat taste a little bit sweet.
Add a knob of salted butter and cook in a preheated oven at 200 degrees until ready.
And all these ingredients here?
Yes. Here we have kale, which we've chopped up into small pieces so that it cooks quicker. We're going to start off with the red onion, the garlic, and then add the kale, the tomato, and we've got peanut butter. You want the peanuts to just blend in with the flavor, but you don't want to overpower the dish with the peanuts, so it becomes a peanut butter kale rather than
a hint of peanut.
Yes.
You really know how to combine such interesting flavors. What made you decide to finally create through the eyes of an African chef?
I just felt like there's a lot of ingredients that we're not touching. For instance, this dish, we normally would use imbuya, which is about to come into season now. Hopefully with a lot of rain, then we're gonna get imbuya. So there are all of those greens that I feel like we're not using, and I felt like, let me do it, but talk to a chef, talk to a Jade who's used to cooking lovely food, and maybe if we do that, then we're gonna start seeing it in our restaurants. Hey, Noni!
Her book features some of chefs' recipes, styled by Noni Masumbuka.
Jade, I actually worked with Noni on the Color of Wine book. And Noni did my styling because she's not only a chef, she's quite a creative. And whenever I need a food stylist, I call on her.
So you're going to help us make this look extra good, what we've prepared.
Because presentation is very important, so I'm here up with that part. So the best thing that you can ever do is keep it as simple as possible. Remember, texture is very important, whether you're eating it or you just want to look at it and you just want to take pictures. Texture, texture, texture. I can't stress that enough. Ladies, now for the drama.
Texture, yes.
Texture.
Lovely.
And you can taste that tang, but it's balanced with the sweetness of the banana.
So the white plate is a canvas, so I can do whatever I want. I'm going to play around with a lot of color here. So I've got the kale sauce on here with the nice greens and the reds. I've got the sweet potatoes. So I'm going to put these in a position where you can still see them even after we put the ostrich on.
What made Nompumelelo especially proud was that the Gourmand World Cookbook Awards allowed her to represent South Africa, its cuisine and ingredients, and she won the top prize in the middle of Africa Month.
Thank you for coming over and sharing our space and savoring the tastes and the flavors and the senses that we like to share.
The pleasure was all mine.
Next, Nompumelelo hopes to host the 4th Mzansi Culinary Festival, showcasing unique African dishes.
So you're all African chefs or cooks as well? What extraordinary family dishes are taking shape in your kitchen? Join the party on #TopBilling and let's hear what's for dinner in your kitchen tonight.
Coming up, Tarina Patel deals with the loss of her father by designing her new home in the epic Indian tradition, which both she and her dad adored.
When Tarina Patel came to designing the interiors of her and Iqbal Sharma's new home, she just suffered a major loss in her life. Reconnecting with her Indian heritage through this project was the best therapy she could have ever hoped for.
Tarina's theme was going to be French or Venetian, but after her beloved father, Dr. Ramanbai Patel, passed away, it was a shared love of their Indian heritage which swayed her towards this design.
This is a real Hollywood-style entrance hall you have here.
It's a real Bollywood-style entrance. I think I love the very high ceilings. That's what lends itself to an extremely glamorous look. But one of my real favorites in the home are these magnificent elephants. These are actually carved out of a single block of marble. I got them in Agra. Agra is, of course, famous for the Taj Mahal and marble, and they're old. They're very, very, very old, and of course, they stand this test of time. I got this from a very antique boutique store, and now these beautiful babies are sitting in South Africa.
The drama unfolds as you enter the triple-volume domed foyer with its twin staircases and hand-painted murals.
This is incredible.
This is really an extension of who I am. So these carpets I actually procured in Kashmir. These are 14 meters long on both sides. And as you can see in the center, it's the same pattern.
A Tarina original, she drew the pattern for the carpet makers.
I just see a lot of man hours when I look at, like, this is all hand done, the hand painting, the mosaics, everything is done by hand.
Yes, so you know, Indians are really famous for many things, but one of them is their artwork. It's a rich heritage that I wanted to have in the home. This is called tikri, which is a specific type of mirror glass. So it's not quite mirror, it's not quite glass, but it's called mirror glass. And these are individually cut, and you can do them in different patterns, and they're individually placed.
Even the more functional of the home's fittings have been noticeably upstyled.
There's been a lot of hand painting, and these were authentically Western doors, which I've just
You have to have the elephants, of course.
You have to have the
Gotta
elephants.
have the elephant.
Look at how beautiful. These are antiques, and each one weighs about 10 kilos, which I've drilled into these doors.
Every little corner there, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Now it looks like we're in some kind of palace.
So I'm going to take you to my lounge next, but on account of it being so royal, I feel like I should look the part. Will you give me 2 minutes to go and change?
Change, yeah. It's your house, you can do whatever you want.
Thank you.
I wish I'd got the brief about, I would have bought extra outfits as well to change as well.
I've got, if you want.
You go ahead, you go ahead. This is a first for Top Billing. Different outfit for each room. I love it.
The dark wooden arches are by Indian craftsmen with rare skills passed down through the centuries.
Okay, well, I can see what you meant by that royal feel and needing to change into something more appropriate. If you look over here, you can see where she's drawn inspiration from those beautiful Indian palaces. Look at the detail there, and she's almost taken some of the same murals and put them up on the wall, and it's all hand painted. The detail in this house is absolutely incredible. Look at you. Hey, now that's an entrance. Have a look. Do a little turn for us up there on the stage. Oh, this is beautiful. I feel like we need to do an entire insert just on your wardrobe.
Oh. It is beautiful.
Tell us about this outfit. This is beautiful.
It's by Sabyasachi, one of my favorite designers, and everything's hand done.
Okay, but we're getting distracted now. You're distracting us with your beautiful outfits.
Focus.
We're talking about your house, all right? So talk about this beautiful room as opposed to your beautiful outfit.
Okay, so when I first got it was completely square. And I knew that I wanted it to be very layered, very multi-dimensional. So as you can see, this was completely independently created, you know, made, painted, and then put together. All the art pieces in here I'm calling them art pieces because they are antique. They all have a beautiful story, as you can imagine, and they're all from different parts of India, from different time periods, from different eras, indicative of the rich history of India.
This depth and variation of texture brings intimacy to the open courtyard layout and design.
These are all old frames from old palaces. And so they're
originals, basically.
They're all originals. And I particularly think that they're charming. So I went into these palaces and just, you know, was able to procure these kinds of pieces. So this was typically an archway into a courtyard of a palace.
It's clever to integrate it to the interior like this as well. It gives so much dimension to the wall.
Yeah, because there's no way I could ever make this. I mean, this level of craftsmanship into wood, people just don't do this anymore. These chairs I'm particularly fond of. They come from the palace in Jodhpur, and the Maharaja is a very dear friend, and I twisted his arm and got him to give me these two as gifts.
They're not chairs, these are thrones.
These are thrones.
Yeah.
Do you want to sit? Come on.
I would love to sit in one of these thrones. Which one is going to suit me best?
Have the center one.
The center one.
This is beautiful.
There we go. Oh, yes, I feel very royal right now. I didn't even need to change.
And now you just look regal, you feel regal.
This is really
This is what these chairs do to you.
Will I be able to twist your arm and take one of these chairs to my apartment?
Some of the more antique pieces in the space are 400 years old. Tarina has complemented them with a range of her own creations.
These pillows, as you can see, they're all over the place. These are Zardozi pillows, and this is all hand done with gold thread. These take months to do. So I designed the pattern and then had them done. And all of them have different patterns.
It's beautiful, eh? And you designed each of these patterns as well.
I designed each of the patterns.
This really is your home. Like
This is my home.
Every little part of it is yours.
Every single part has a story. I mean, this is a set from Gujarat. You know, I'm Gujarati. And I had to get something from Gujarat, and I got these beautiful set from a palace in Gujarat. And this is also very Gujarati fabric. It's a brocade. Again, I had the pattern made and I had the fabric made. Why don't I take you through to my dining room?
Okay, entertainment spaces. For sure. I'm sure you're going to want to change again.
I should, don't you think? I mean, I would.
I mean, that was a hint because we love what you're wearing. We'd love to see more. We'd love to see some more. Give us your entertainment look.
Let me do an
and I'll meet you in
entertainment
entertainment
look.
spaces. There we go.
Okay, perfect.
These fabrics invite you to luxuriate in comfort while dazzled by mirror mosaic ceilings in the style of the 17th century Palace of Mirrors.
Introducing look number 3. Perfectly curated to the color scheme of the entertainment area, of course.
Of course.
And now this entertainment area, talk us through it.
So, you know, I think that every home should have a getaway space. I have many, but this is particularly soothing and calming for me. I think being near water, having a water feature, you know, is mandatory. And then the lovely gardens. I love that it's layered and it just lends itself to, you know, a very relaxed sort of space.
Joburg's full of hidden gems, and this is an example of that, like these little hidden oasis type of places in the middle of the city.
Yes, absolutely. I love it.
The Persian rugs are often taken outdoors for entertaining. Inside, they set a tone of elegance.
So this is where I would have more formal, intimate dinners, which I must say I do love doing. And I serve very Indian food with Indian music, and I like a very traditional evening. So I thought that the room should be indicative of that. So if you can see, these are all old paintings. They're all old Mughal paintings, and they're actually hand painted on silk. And then I framed it, and I've put Zardozi borders around it. Then I framed it again, so that it's again multi-leveled and not flat. And I put another border around that, and then the third frame.
All about the details, eh?
Tarina's father loved this house and her ideas about decorating it. With a shared fascination with a Mughal heritage, she felt his inspiring presence throughout the design process.
As you can see, on either side, I've got these 4 pieces. So you can see that I've got them on those sides and those 2 on that side. And it's from this really well-known Indian artist called Gafur. And he made a beautiful piece that he gave to Prime Minister Modi to give to President Obama. And Obama's publicly said that, you know, this is his most favorite gift he's ever received. Yeah. And naturally, you know, my friend Gafur was very happy about it, and I'm glad to say that I have 4 of them. So I'm very glad.
The only clear departure from the Indian theme is the more Venetian-Italian approach Tarina chose for the most private part of the house.
I feel like I'm in some kind of Bollywood movie with all these extravagant sets and costume changes and a Bollywood actress as well. It's been awesome.
So let me take you through. This bed I got in India, in the south of India. And then the fabric, of course, I worked with the wallpaper and then had fabrics made to suit the wallpaper and vice versa. Okay. And I just like the whole complete look where you follow through the pattern on the bed, on the walls, with your curtaining, with your lounge suite, with your pillows, with your trimmings. It just concludes the room and pulls it all together in a very nice sort of succinct way.
Now, I'm sure, knowing you, that there's got to be some kind of hidden closet or something extravagant where all this is coming from.
I do have a wardrobe. Would you like to have a look?
No, I know the viewers are dying to see where all these outfits have been coming from.
Let's do it.
Let's have a look.
Follow me.
Merging Asian and Western decor works for areas concerned with style and fashion.
So this is my walk-in closet where I've tried to put quite a bit of my stuff in. Not all of it.
I knew it would be something special because you walk in there and then there's another walk-in closet there.
That belongs to Iqbal. That's his domain. He's very territorial. That's his space.
This is a magical space.
And then I got the lesser space, you know, but I did justice to it.
I can see that. This is a sensory overload of note with all the clothes and the shoes.
It's beautiful, right? I was very clever with this in how I managed to use this as a bench to sit on and deliberate about what you should wear and how you put it all together. Yeah. And then I've put shoes on both sides. So I've managed to squeeze a lot of shoes along this way and along that side.
You mentioned your husband's got his own closet there, so he's very fashion conscious clearly as well.
He is quite fashion conscious. I mean, being married to me forces him to naturally, you know, keep up.
Yeah, well, let's catch up with him.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Successful businessman Iqbal Sharma's well-publicized interests between South Africa and the East keep him very busy. But he was still fully involved with his wife's design project.
First of all, congrats, happy 10th wedding anniversary. Can you believe it's been 10 years since TopBilling was at your wedding?
Well, yeah, it was great. 10 years have passed. It was 4 memorable days. You guys were there. It was fantastic having you, mingling with all the guests and being part of the whole celebration. So it seems like it was yesterday.
And this chair, actually, this jula, was from the wedding. So we sat on it then, 10 years ago. We're sitting on it today, 10 years later.
Now, you're obviously a power couple that's very successfully managed to balance your relationship and your career. What are your tips for the people out there to make it work?
I think the most important thing is to be together, but respect your individuality and kind of lean on each other and support each other to flourish in their own space. Just respect individuality and help each other grow.
And just love. I think that if there is love, and you never lose sight of your love, because it's so easy to get caught up in life as we know it and the ups and downs that come with life. But if you always focus on the fact that these are the things that brought two people together, and that should never pass, and you continue doing things in the name of love.
In their personal relationship, as in their exotic contemporary Mughal palace here in the business hub of Africa, it's what's inside that rarely counts.
Tarina, the home and design magazines would be mightily impressed, but more importantly, your father would be so proud of you.
Coming up, 12 kinds of sexy step forward to claim the title, and we find out who the women of South Africa decide is the sexiest in the land.
TopBilling's leading men have a good record in being voted sexiest in the land. Now, with all due respect to the rest of us who've proudly represented before, I don't think we've ever had 2 better contenders, and in 1 year, than Ryle and Fez.
Gathering for the pool party finale, the class of 2019 received more public votes than any of the previous 21 years.
Dude, we went head to head on the presenter search on 3. Yeah. And we did the men's health fashion show.
Yeah, we did.
And now we are one of the 2 possible winners for the Cosmo Sexiest Man.
That's been a crazy experience, man. We've been blessed, Fez, you must admit. I think the entire ride, this journey has been incredible. And one thing I must say, man, I can't believe I'm playing with my boy. It's been an absolute pleasure, dude. I can't believe this.
It's incredible. And this year's theme is pool party. I feel like some people who own Speedos have a bit of an advantage in this one.
So I can embrace the Speedo.
The field included a mixed martial arts athlete, 2 doctors, an engineer, a Commonwealth Games gold medalist, and actor Zweli Dube.
Standout features for me on my body, there's more than one. I mean, I can actually move something. I'm joking. No, it'll probably be my abs, I think, because I do those every day.
I mean, I've been told I have mysterious eyes. So that's probably what I wouldn't really be able to give another honest opinion on anything else.
Probably my biceps, I think. I am packing some heat over here, so yeah.
My sexiest feature definitely has been my eyebrows, I think, because I don't have the biceps, I don't have the abs, I don't have the anything else, but I do have very nice eyebrows. I'd probably rate them #1 in the world.
The consensus on what makes a guy hot seems to be aesthetic. Sexiness appears to depend on being relatable.
For my side, I would say what they're actually looking for to be part of the Cosmopolitan Sexiest guy, you need to have that charisma, you need to have a smile, you gotta have a killer app, you gotta have that, you know what I'm saying?
I think to be nominated for Cosmo's Sexiest Man, you have to obviously look after yourself to a certain level, but I think it's more than that. I think you need to be outgoing, adventurous, fun, and most of all just real, I guess.
Well, for someone like me, I think to be nominated, I think it needs you to do what you do best, you know, and I'm trying to run as fast as I can. I'm trying to be the best runner I can be.
So why I was selected, it's a bit of a mind-boggling question. I feel like I'm asking myself that as well. I'd like to think it's because I have somewhat of a brain,
I'm involved in a number of ventures, entrepreneurial stuff. So yeah, I'd like to think it's a combination of all these things.
The setting of a pizza and pool party already made this a far more fun theme that shows in the calendar.
Tell us a bit more about this year's theme.
So this year we wanted to add a little bit of comedy into the mix. So the Sexy Man calendar can be quite serious and, you know, posy. And we wanted to, in a way, elevate that posiness to take it to a theatrical almost and comic setting. We are using a comedian, Yassine Barnes, who's actually photobombing every guy who represents every month. And I think that's brought a really cool, like, comic element to it. That was kind of where we were going this year.
It's a really great feeling to be in every picture in every month of the whole calendar. Like, I'm actually the calendar. I am Cosmo's Sexiest Man. It's the problem comes with when you're overqualified for the job, then they just go, be everything. Just be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, January, February, every day. It's my day. I am the calendar. I'm here to just humble these guys, to show them what real men look like. Real men have curves.
I think at the end of the day, we gotta remember that women are attracted to different kind of sexy. So I'm bringing in a different kind of sexy as well as the different brothers. So
it feels so good, so different. Never expected it because I don't consider myself as that person that's, you know, all buffed up, sexy. So we come together, different guys coming together and being sexy in our own different way.
At this point, I'm still trying to wrap my head around why you guys think that I might be like one of these guys, but I think it's really cool. It's all about kind of embodying what sexy might mean to people. It's not just an aesthetically based kind of idea. So for me, being with these guys, the energy here is amazing, and I can't wait to see how it looks like.
It's freaking incredible. It's an honor, honestly, and to be on the caliber of guys like Fez over here. I mean, it's quite an honor indeed. So I'm feeling like I've stepped it up and leveled up a bit here. Very proud and very blessed.
With an all-time record number of readers having voted for their favorites, the rooftop party for the finale was a chance to ask what got the votes of South African women.
Taryn, what do you think makes a man sexy?
I think the way he smiles and if he can make me laugh.
So a sense of humor for you?
Yeah, a sense of humor, yeah. And has to love dogs. That's the other thing, yeah.
What do you think makes a man sexy?
I think confidence, definitely, and probably like just adventure and being spontaneous and like never really knowing what's coming next, I think, yeah.
Please tell me it's not just about the six-pack.
It actually is.
It is?
No, his brain too, come on. He's got to have a great personality too. I think that someone who can make us laugh is definitely sexy.
Yeah. Also, I mean, having a great body motivates me as your partner to go to the gym with you. So we might as well just be a fitness couple once.
Okay. So
and smile too, yeah.
As for the skimpy swimwear section, it's okay when defending your world life-saving title, but otherwise, just a bit awkward.
Hey, man. That's good.
Himself. Yo to you.
How's it going? The Speedo Brigade over here.
Yeah. Did you guys both draw the short straws when it came to outfits for today?
Listen, like, I think we were both trying to compete with the Cosmo Sexiest back in the day, so we thought Speedos are the way to go, you know? You just gotta show it all.
I'm so glad I'm not doing this year. My year was just jeans and no shirt. That was it, man. We were safe.
Words of wisdom from your side? Because we're nervous right now.
You know what, guys? Like I said last time, just be yourselves. I'm so proud of you, Oaks, man. Like, look at you guys now, man. Hey, in such a short amount of time. Can you believe it? You're up here in Speedos making all the ladies crawl.
In the final reckoning, some say it was his brains and charm. Others that it's the body and smile that good genes gifted him with. Either way, Fez was voted Cosmo's Sexiest Man for 2019.
I feel like a proud older brother now, man. I'm so proud of you, bro. Keeping it in the family. Listen, you are like one of the guys who always make sure that we strive to be like, and to be able to say that I shared this thing with you, absolutely amazing, man. I don't know, I can't really express how great this feeling is. Was there ever any doubt? Listen, there was a lot of doubt. I feel like every single time I sat there and I looked at the other guys, I was like, any single one of them can take it. And to be honest with you, I don't think this is something where I can be like, I did anything. It's everybody who's been supporting me, everybody at home, everybody who watches the show, my mom, like everybody who needs to pull through. Thanks. From the perspective of his girlfriend, what do you think it is that makes Fez so sexy, apart from his abs?
Definitely his heart. Definitely his heart. I think all of his patients feel it, his friends feel it, I feel it. He's a giving guy, he smiles and he's honest and authentic, and I think that's what won him the competition.
He's just the whole package, pretty much.
He is, yeah.
The advice Fez has for guys wanting to up their game is just be you. What women want above all is someone real.
I've always known those readers have great taste, and they just confirmed it. For this week, from the home of sexy here on Top Billing, good night South Africa, and God bless.
Join us again next week as entrepreneurial couple Tumelo and Celeste Matsose share the great adventures of their life, disrupting old ways of doing business in epic restaurant and entertainment ventures. Top Model South Africa discovers the looks set to define a new decade. And African painter Richard Mudariki and sculptor Patrick Bongoi grab the world's attention.